7 of 90 into our launch next year, March, for the findacoolboss.com job recruiting platform, or as we like to say, boss matching platform. So yeah, really keeping focused on that every day. I'm basically just kind of journaling what I'm doing through these videos. I'm building up this from a local movement amongst small business owners and business leaders all the way up into a huge platform that everybody can take advantage of if they're looking for a job of their dreams, and a company that's looking for an employee, a talent of their dreams. So really cool stuff. Yesterday, got some stuff done working towards it, and today a little bit of more research work and also some structuring. So it's kind of, you got to go two parts to it. One, you got to get out there, you got to meet the people, you got to talk to the people, but at the same time, you're building up the infrastructure, above and beyond the actual platform itself, which I actually have the designers doing that, the engineers doing that. But what I'm doing is, it's all what the findacoolboss.com platform is all about. And really, it's based on the whole coolest boss ever mindset and movement that we're doing, which is we are looking to take the best leadership strategies that the best and most effective bosses are using to create amazing cultures, employee cultures, which obviously creates awesome businesses, incredible businesses. So what I'm doing today is working on some of the future types of events, and also we're looking into, as we start getting a little bit closer, into ambassadors for the platform. And basically, those are just going to be the leaders of the leaders. Those are going to be the bosses and that come up to me and say, hey, look, at this is great, we have an amazing employee culture. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they're going to say, hey, look, we're looking we've always wanted to take our employee culture to the next level, which that could be you. So that, because it's going to be better for them, and then therefore they're going to give their all. They're going to have this job that they love. They're going to have a boss that they love, and it's going to help build up the company. So yes, so today I've been doing a lot of thinking about, and also some investigation into creating some mini workshops that we can offer to help people implement this stuff, as I do the workshops throughout the community with business owners. And I can work some of the stuff with them, like the Cool Boss Factor. If you haven't already, check that out on findacoolboss.com. Check out the free tool, which is called the Cool Boss Factor Score. It's an self-evaluation quiz for leaders, so they can see their strengths and weaknesses and create that self-awareness, and then look into building themselves up and strengthening their weaker parts. And that's going to help you become that coolest boss ever. So some ambassador stuff, we're looking into that, what it would take for people to come up to us and say, hey, look, we love what you do. We love what this movement is all about. It's about stepping up the employee culture in today's business, so everyone feels success from the success of the company, and how they can spread the word and be a part of that. Right at the beginning, too. Right at the beginning, you really find out who the go-getters are. It's not just this kind of thing, but anything. There are different levels that people work at. For instance, some people, they don't start taking something in and utilizing something until years after it's been introduced. Maybe one, maybe two, maybe three. It's kind of like they're waiting to see how it goes, and they want other people to be the sacrificial lamb, so to speak, and see how it goes. Wait until all the bugs are gone, and that's fine. And that's fine. I mean, they're probably less likely to take risks, and so they're going to wait it out and have other people deal with the bugs before they jump on board, and that's fine. And then you got the people that are kind of in the middle, like, all right, we're going to see how it goes a little bit. When it's launch day, we'll really look at it, see what's up, see what everyone's saying about it, and then we can jump onto that. And then you have your early adopters, and those are the people that are going to be our ambassadors. Those are going to be the businesses, and quite frankly, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to become involved, because it is something where, unless of course you have a scarcity mindset and you think that your competition might find out about it and they start building up their amazing culture, and then steal talent away from you or business. And if that's your mindset, then we have other things we should talk about. But really, the early adopters are the pioneers. They're the ones that are going out into the Wild West and with me. And quite honestly, I don't see much of a risk because it really is about big job recruiting types of sites that are just going to throw all sorts of stuff at you, and you're going to go through them, go through them, go through them, go through them, go through them. Now, me personally, I'll be honest with you, I never had to deal with that because all of my team has always been internal. And if it wasn't directly internal, meaning advancing people that are already within my organization, then I would look for referrals from my current team members, and we've always gotten really good referrals because people, it's birds that flock together, whatever it is, birds that fly together, flock together, whatever that saying is, but that's usually the case. But I do talk to a lot of business owners that are telling me, they've spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of mental space on trying to get the right people into their business. And why is it so hard? Well, because the filtering of the job recruiting, it's going to get so far. Yes, you got job requirements and you got the hours, and is it hybrid, is it in person, is it remote, and all those basic things, and what is the minimum, that they're willing to take for compensation, and all those basic questions. But I mean, that's still pretty broad. You know, I think what's going to really make findacoolboss.com stand out is exactly what's in its name. I want to find someone I feel would be a cool boss. Now, you may think someone's a cool boss, and someone might say, "Oh, I think that person's a jerk." I mean, that's just how it works. There's someone for everyone. But I think as we create this match with companies and bosses and their leadership, their culture, their values and their purpose of their company. Really, purpose is huge. You know, some people don't give a crap about what you care about, and vice versa. But when you both give a crap about the same thing, that automatically gives you a connective type of relationship, and that's what this is all about. So if some of your core values are transparency, meaning in your company, everything's out in the open. We're not hiding anything here. Everybody's part of the same team that's trying to achieve the same goal, and that vibrates through the environment every day like that. That's just one of the values that dictates everything that goes on, not just in physical aspect, what people are doing, but what they're thinking and why they're there. You're not letting down their company. You're not letting down your supervisor when you don't fulfill your job that day. You're letting down who the company is serving. What does it exist for? And I think that's much more powerful. And it also once again allows for down the road for company leaders, and whether they're the CEO, founder, supervisors, managers, what have you, business owners, it allows them to be able to walk away, still keep an eye, still be the conductor of that incredible orchestra, but walk away and know that it's the whole purpose, the values, and so forth in the company that are going to be guiding everybody day in and day out. That's huge, I believe, and from all the successful business owners that I've talked with, they agree as well. So today, one thing I also wanted to talk about. So yes, just to finish off that, yeah, we're working on creating the ambassador program. We're working on creating the mini workshops because I think mini workshops really are, and those would be online things as well as in person. But online would be more accessible for people where they could jump on board and take certain workshops that I'll be offering that really break down the coolest boss ever methodology of great effective leadership. And there's different facets. In fact, I have like 5 modules that I work through when I coach and consult with business owners, starting with, and if you watch yesterday's video, starting with the foundation, which we would call the owners, the leaders foundation, which would be the mindset, the vision, the purpose, the core values of that individual, whoever is at the top, as high as it can be at the top, so that all is able to filter down and we can build that out and together. And that's what we'll be doing some of these workshops. So that'll be fun. And then I do go around locally and work with specific companies and small businesses, maybe sometimes not so small, so that we can start spreading some of this awesomeness around, which is about, bosses and, um, bosses and the employees doing the work, working together all on the same page, not like split down the middle, managerial versus employees. Right there you're segregating them. And I get it. I get sometimes that's how it has to go in some companies, but people are people. Just because you're on this side of the fence and they're on that side of the fence doesn't mean everybody can't be working towards the same goal. And that's the way it should be. And it shouldn't be all about the numbers, in terms of profits. Okay, so one thing I did want to bring up is just something that comes up, and once again, myself working in my martial arts school, if I'm not there, I'm always doing something with it. Whether it's some of the marketing, some of the emails going out, and obviously any of the challenges and also innovations that we do in our school. And we're constantly innovating to offer the best teaching available. It's not just about punches and kicks at our martial arts school. It's so much lifelong skills. I don't call them life skills. I call them lifelong skills because self-defense. Hopefully you'll never use it, even if you are really good at it. Hopefully you'll never use it for real. But the lifelong skills, if introduced and taught correctly, that will get into you, and that's what we would call the inside martial arts or the inside karate. That stuff you use every day. I mean, how valuable is that? You're going to use it every day. But one thing that really was on my mind today that I wanted to share with you, and maybe you can reflect on it in your own day, is you gotta be okay with getting knocked down every once in a while. There's certain people that all their ducks got to be in a row. Okay, they prep it out, and I've talked about this myself personally, that sometimes I make sure they're all in a row a little too much, and that creates some procrastination, and that's just about being insecure, not confident in what you're doing yet. But you could get into a situation where it's never good enough. So you got to jump, and where I've heard that somewhere, jump off and the parachute will open. Don't worry, it'll open on the way down. Some people got to make sure before they jump up. Well, that's just not usually how success works. There comes a time where you just got to jump, knowing, look at when the parachute needs to open, it'll open, and you'll be okay, and you'll learn in the process. But at least you're taking action, and then it'll create momentum. But it can get to the point where some people, though, they never build that grit, that resilience of, you know, they never build it because they're too afraid of getting knocked down. So everything's about asking a million questions or having someone check every little step that they do. And it's not so much about being on course physically with what their project or whatever they're trying to do. I think it's more about the validation and the approval in their own head due to their own insecurities. That, look, I can't take this step until someone tells me I'm good, 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 good. And, you know, if you don't fall down, if you never get hit, you don't know what it feels like. You know, I think it was Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And that's what he meant. He's like, everybody knows what's up. Everyone knows how to do it. Everyone knows that, until all of a sudden some monkey wrench, something gets thrown into the equation they weren't expecting. And in boxing, or in self-defense, that could be a punch to the face. All of a sudden, all these perfect, awesome plans that they said they had, and they had it all under control, is out the window. And that's why it's important to get hit every once in a while. And in the business world, that's hopefully not, literal. I think it's more like, something didn't go as according to plan, or some irate customer came out of nowhere, fairly or unfairly. And I mean, you just got hit. And what do you do with that? What are you going to do? You're going to stay down there and say, oh, I suck, oh, they're right. Or you're going to get really angry, and then that creates a lot of biases and limited beliefs for the future, which is going to stunt your growth for the future. What are you going to do with that? Well, even when you're a little kid, you got to know what it feels like to get knocked down. And do I dare use the F word? And it's not what you think it is. Failure. You failed. Well, at a young age, everyone's taught, you fail, that's bad, 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 bad. You failed the test, you failed this, you failed that. And there are certain things that won't have the outcomes that we hoped for. So yes, we didn't win. We didn't have a victory. But you could reframe that failure, failing at something, into something that says, hey, look it, that's how I'm going to learn. I'm not just going to learn what mistakes I made. I'm going to learn that I can take a shot and keep going. And that is huge. But if you always have someone or something babying you, protecting you, making sure everything's perfect before you take that step, just because they don't want to see you get knocked down. They don't want to see you get hurt. They don't want to see you feel bad or get upset. They don't want, because they're protecting you. They may love you, whoever that may be, but that's not going to help you be successful. You need to feel what it's like to get knocked down and then get back up. What are those feelings? And when you get used to doing that, you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, just like a boxer. First time they got hit, it was a rude awakening. And then again, and then again, and harder and harder. And then eventually it gets to a point where they know what it feels like. They're confident in what they can do. They know they can keep going, and then they can still work on their skills so it happens less often. All right? And that's what I want to share with you today. You know, you get knocked down, good. Now you know what it feels like. Get up. And I sure hope you know what it feels like to get up. I don't want you to know what it feels like to lay down, because that means that you're just going to become that victim. And you tried, I did my best, I just couldn't lose the weight. I just couldn't do that. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't this. I wasn't, because that's you laying down after you got hit. Get back up. I promise you, when you do your best will get better and better, no matter what that may be at that time. Your best will get better and better. So, tomorrow, so I'll introduce some new things we're working on. I'm still moving, we'll just keep moving this, climbing the mountain one step at a time, until we get to the peak next year. And that's going to be awesome. I sure hope you're following along so you can be a part of it with us.